What did you think of what took place today? Because as much as we want to focus on that weekend, the big news story, Mamelodi Sundowns, you used to play at the club, Matthew Booth, coming out with a statement that they're restructuring the situation in terms of the coaches at the club.
Yeah, it's quite new news. So I'm not sure what the reasoning is behind it. I can't quite understand it.
I mean, you lose 3-0 against Pirates over the weekend. That could be a clue, you know,
and
maybe.
Before then?
Huh?
And before then? Is it justified?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
No, well, I don't think it is.
They feel like it is, because let me read you the statement, and then maybe this will clarify some of the justification that you're asking about here. It says, Mamelodi Sundowns announced today the restructuring of its technical team and the changes in the responsibilities and employment positions of its coaches, Mngqithi, Rhulani, Mokena, and Steve Komphela. These changes were necessitated by the poor performances and unconvincing victories that the club has experienced for quite some time. Matthew, there's the answer for you. Yeah. Poor performance, unconvincing victories. That's what Sundowns are saying is the situation. I'll skip the next line and then go to Rhulani Mngqithi will take over the responsibility of head coach of Mamelodi Sundowns. Steve Komphela will be promoted to become the first team coach, and Mngqithi will be the senior coach. It is the position previously occupied by Steve Komphela. The goalkeeper coach, Wendell Robinson, will stay in his current position. So there you go. Not happy with how Sundowns are winning and not happy with losing.
Besides the Pirates' performance, which I don't understand which poor
there were
performance.
There were some streaky wins. I mean, was it the win against Amazulu, the last kick of the match? You know, Allende scoring in the 95th minute. A couple of those wins have been last gasp, last kick of the game kind of victories for Sundowns.
They've got games in hand as well, so they can't even say that it's their position on the log. You know, they're not happy with the position on because they've got games in hand as well. So, I'll reiterate, I don't understand their reasoning.
And then there was the Champions League, 15 goals scored there in the Champions League, which could lead to the other side. But what's your thoughts?
I think, firstly, I would like to say congratulations to Rhulani Mokena. Sundowns don't have co-coaches anymore. Rhulani Mokena is the head coach at Mamelodi Sundowns. The buck stops with Rhulani Mokena. Then after that, there is Steve Komphela. Then there is Mngqithi. I'm saying, coach Rhulani, one of the youngest head coaches, second youngest head coach in the PSL.
I hear you.
Congratulations to him.
And absolutely, it's fantastic to see a young man get the opportunity that he's getting. But can you explain what Matthew's not understanding?
Out of everything that has been discussed, unconvincing victories. Chippa United, last kick of the game, they win that. Shalila scores. Amazulu, last kick of the game, you can say
Allende.
A goalkeeping error from Umotwa. Allende scores. Mamelodi Sundowns, this time, last season, I think they'd not even lost a game. And
it was the loss to TS Galaxy.
Yeah, they've lost to TS Galaxy. You look at how Mamelodi Sundowns, they've not been dominating games. They're not bringing somebody from outside. They're just restructuring a little bit. So now, when things were not going well, you used to say, Rhulani, what's happening? Manqoba, what's happening? Now, when things are not going to go well, if things don't go well now, Manqoba and Steve, they...
Yes, and
then they go to Rhulani.
That's where I have a problem with it. Rather let go than rather restructure a little bit. You see, that's where I have a problem. You know, where in the world have you ever seen something like this? You know, it's almost like there's an attempt to cause even more disruption within that coaching staff. They had it right. There was nothing wrong with the way things were going.
But it's very clear now.
They were very...
It's very clear now. There's a head coach and there's two guys that are under the head coach.
Co-coaching is a thing of the past.
No, but you're kind of demoting one person to continue to serve another. Now that for me, it just doesn't bode well.
It happened at Orlando Pirates. Mngqithi was in the final of the CAF Confederations Cup. Now he's assistant coach. There's Coach Jose Rivera that is there
Someone
now.
Someone new came in.
But I'm giving you an example of somebody that...
But he's making his point. Somebody new came in.
I'm saying, Thomas, Mngqithi was a head coach last season. He's now an assistant coach.
I think there are two things that you guys must remember. One, there is someone who is very close to the chairman of Sundowns, who is a former top coach, who must have been looking at the situation and painting the picture going forward to say, if we continue this way, it's not going to happen. You know that person.
Who's someone? No, who's someone?
Trapatone.
Who?
Trot. He's there.
Yeah.
He's there. He's a veteran in the coaching area. There is this, I can't remember his name. He's recently employed at Sundowns.
They brought in a couple of
as a
technical directors as well.
He must have seen something in the trajectory that the club was taking, comparing it to previous performances, and may have advised the boss that if we continue in this fashion with the co-coaches, this is where we will land. And I'm a fan of bosses that take decisions about their businesses when trouble...
Is it a good decision, Bryce?
Trouble.
When
I think that's where Matthew's coming in.
When trouble seems to appear in the horizon, and you are a businessman, and you don't take action to avert that problem, then you're not a good
The word trouble is a big word to use. And I can see why Matthew is saying, but I don't understand. They're top of the log. Where's the trouble when you're top of the log? Like, what, you can't get a better position
Thomas,
than top of the log.
when you've been dominating for so many seasons,
so Fernando,
and it's clear that you are losing that dominance.
If you don't win 5-0 in Ginga, 1-0 is not enough.
Take decisions, bro.
Wow, I can see where you're coming from, though.
Yeah, but my issue is more about how they've restructured it. You know, if they're not happy with one of them, then let one of them go. You know, don't reshuffle. You know, because you're actually looking for issues there. You know, there I don't have a. It doesn't bode well for me.
But what do you think could go wrong with the reshuffle?
As I've explained, you've demoted somebody basically to a junior. You know, and you've promoted somebody, and they're still working together. Now, we judging from outside. That's a disclaimer, right? I've always said that. We don't exactly know what's going on, the shenanigans and the currents and the politics, etc., that are going in the office.
But you're saying you could not work with somebody after you're demoted. You couldn't be, and I'm sure Mngqithi will be professional, but you're saying you couldn't do it? You couldn't be this guy and then move down to this guy and continue to work?
You would have to have 3 exceptionally mature people or person to put yourself in that situation and carry on working at that sort of level. And it hardly ever happens. I don't remember a situation like this before.
All right, there you go. There you've got the views. Tell us what you think. You can get us on hashtag #SSFootball, hashtag #SSDiski. That is where you can have this conversation with us on Twitter. And you've heard multiple opinions there. However, as usual, when we start the show, we start with the moment of the week. And I'm going to start with mine because obviously, I don't think it's the strongest one. That's why I'm starting with mine. But anyway, this is midweek. And look at the brilliant save here.